All right, we'll go again. All right, three, two, one. What up, everybody? Episode number 73. It's your boys Z and L Cucuy. We got a lot for you today. We have Rich turned into a middle of the night Macho Man Randy Savage. Did you? Well, we'll get into that quick. But yeah, we have so much more. Big Steve. Actually, I realized that he was in the in-show thread when it comes to the chat, and so much more. So, baseline Trey, let's get started.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.
What up, everybody? Episode number 73. It's your boys Z and L Cucuy.
What's up?
Cucuy, what's going on, man? I see you got your mic today. You sound decent, but the thing that sucks is that now you have your mic. I'm actually on location today because I am chilling with the family in Vegas, and I brought all of my equipment except an XLR cable to actually plug my shit in. So we're going straight up off of the computer microphone today. So it'll be a good show regardless, man. How are you doing?
Good, man. How's Vegas treating you?
Cool. It's been really fun, man. I actually did Fremont Street for the first time ever.
Yeah, I love Fremont.
I'd never been there, dog. There's so much shit that it's definitely you know what? I was a little disappointed on the street performers and shit. Like,
right.
There was one dude that had a sign, right, and he had like a little bucket for tips, whatever. He had a sign that said, "I'm only here to look at boobs and butts." And people were like dropping money. He wasn't doing nothing. He was just standing there. I was like, "That's one of their performers, all right," And
that's class. That's Vegas class at its finest.
Yeah, that's Fremont Street, 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my girl's been to Fremont Street a million times, so she was like, "Oh, so was it what you expected, or?" And it was everything I expected. There was just the one thing I can't get over here in Vegas is how much it just smells like weed the entire time.
Oh yeah,
the entire fucking city, dog. Like, I thought when we were on Fremont Street, it smells like everybody next to you smoke. What most people next to you are smoking, right? But like, we left the hotel, and as soon as we left the hotel, it was like there's like a stench in the air. So I don't know if it just got legalized in Vegas or what, but people are going fucking nuts.
What's crazy is on Fremont Street, if you go to those little mini market liquor type stores, they have they sell joints. They can't have more than I think 0.03% THC in it, but they sell them right there in the store. So since they sell them legal, everyone blazes those too, and those smell like weed, but they don't really get you high. But those smell like weed, and they sell them right there in the liquor store on Fremont Street as you're walking through. Mm-hmm. I know because I bought a couple and they were weak, but still, I didn't know that they had that low of THC when I bought them. But yeah, man. So I think that too, with people blazing those up and then people blazing real weed, and then it's trendy, bro. Let's face it. I'm an old schooler, so no bullshit. I mean, I hate to date myself, but I remember when I had buddies that lived in Nevada, and they threatened you with like years in jail over a seed and a stem. And now all of a sudden they think they're New Amsterdam. But hey, I like it, so I like going there and checking it out. And it's cool. We've come that far where you just walk around smelling weed like it's no big thing.
Yeah, you know what though? That's actually something I wanted to ask you, because you are I would say a 420 expert when it comes to everything. And one thing that I don't understand is that there's so many ways now to ingest, THC, and they have it you have it in drinks, you have it in edibles, you have it in fucking drops. You can do everything imaginable now of a way you can get it into your body. And a lot of
hey, bro, I think they even have a product that Rich would like. They have suppositories, bro. Those are the true Dickie Doolittles.
Oh my! Actually, I saw some of those, and they said "as used" by Rich Davis, and had a picture of him.
Hey,
But
code rich and you get a discount.
code word rich for the referral code. Yeah, you know what? But no, one thing that I don't get is what is the appeal to smoking with all of the options?
What do you mean? Like, what's the preferred
Yeah,
method?
well, I'm saying why is it that so many people, like I said when we were on Fremont Street, so many people are actually smoking when there's so many other ways to ingest it? Is
It's
it
just
just
it's
ritual?
the
Is it just
no, it's the buzz. I mean, because if you eat it, or if you eat it, or you take pills, or you ingest it like orally, where it goes through, your system, it's a different effect.
well, I understand that when you well, you know what, I guess that's the answer, but because I've heard Joe Rogan talk about when you actually eat edibles, your body processes it differently, and it's more of a
Hmm.
psychedelic high, you know.
And and
Um,
and sometimes almost like a drunk too, because sometimes you get where you get like sloppy if you eat enough of it.
oh really?
Yeah, you can get where you don't want to move and you get like sloppy. It's yeah, it's not, and it affects everybody different. But and I don't like that. Like for me, that's not my deal, bro. I don't. I mean, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times too, people do that, especially in Vegas, because they like to crossfade. They want to go in there and drink some beers and take some shots and party, and then you go have a halftime show outside, right? Go smoke a blunt, and then you come back in and you start partying, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe another hour later you go back outside. And I think it's the mix of the two. And again, if you did, it's not the same with edibles. If you were to do that, it's a whole. You're going to sleep. It's different.
No, you know what? It's funny that you say that because I remember my one of my homies fucking smoker of all time, right? So
Right.
I gave him to him. So I was like, I'm not gonna fucking use these, right? So I gave them to him, and I was like, hey, I was like, so I asked him the next day, how's that cookie? And I guess he didn't pay attention to the milligrams, and he was like, I was just stuck the entire night. He said he sat on his couch, he didn't fucking move, and I guess that is another reason because when somebody's been smoking like forever, they know their
Right.
tolerance, they know what they're getting from who, they know, you know. So like when I
Right.
gave him this
Right.
cookie, he didn't fucking move for 12 hours, you know. He just stayed sitting on the couch.
Yeah, dude. And that's then to me that also I don't know, when I was a kid and we did it, the challenge was always to see how much we could burn and still function like nothing ever happened, and how could we keep it from everybody so they didn't know, right? So how do we function, like do that but nobody know, right? So like we were just like being slick, like that was the challenge and that was the game. So anything that made me do that, I'm just, you got shit to do, bro. I can't do all that, bro. I can't waste a day 12 hours just sitting there to sit there, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm a dad, bro. I'm a grown up. I can't do that. I mean, that would have to be like some camping trip once a year, or you know what I'm saying, like something like
Yeah.
a special occasion. But that's why I don't get down like that myself.
Yeah, it was funny though because and this dude he just had like his like third kid, and yeah, I don't think it went over very well at his pad because he he wasn't expecting it to hit him like that, you know. And it was funny because he said he had like half of it, and then he
Uh-huh.
was like, "I'm cool, that didn't do shit." He didn't realize how long it was gonna take to actually kick in. So then he had the
Right.
other half, and then he said he was fucking stuck. So
Well, hey,
shout out to
warning
the
out there.
homie out there.
Warning out there to anyone listening feeling a little experimental. Mushrooms do the same thing. So make sure you wait extra before you eat that second batch. Give yourself
Yeah,
another 30 minutes.
yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, that was I mean that's been my experience so far. Last night, me and my girl went out. We went to I don't know. I guess there's like some shit on Planet Hollywood where they got like this all these shots and shit like all these, but it's called something. It's called like Mill Ave or Million something Ave or some. It's not Mill Ave. That's in Phoenix. So I'm tripping. But there was some shit. But we went and then we ended up leaving there. We went down the strip and it was cool, man. I lost all kinds of money that I didn't have, and it was cool. It was cool. I mean, it's been a good day, a good weekend actually. So yeah, it's been fun, man. Just doing all the normal shit you do in Vegas. We ate at some place called Cabo Wabo or some shit last
Oh yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah. The
That shit
what's his
was
name?
actually
What's that guy's name? I forgot.
who?
Sammy Hagar. That's the
Oh
Sammy
yeah,
Hagar place.
yeah. This motherfucker. Is it his place or is it just he eats there a lot?
I think he owned that and the tequila at one point, if I'm correct. I believe so.
Because yeah, there was everywhere you look, there's pictures of Sammy Hagar, and what did my girl ask me? She was like, "Is that?" She was like, "Is that Led Zeppelin or some shit?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, like, let's fucking just go." But yeah, no, there was pictures of Sammy Hagar with like fucking everybody you could think of all over the place. Like I saw a picture of him and the dude from Nickelback, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a trip," you know, like the fucking pop punk or pop rock dude, and then the fucking one of the old school rock dudes. So that was cool. But it was cool, man. I mean, I enjoyed it. The food there was dope. The our server was I wasn't buying his accent.
No,
no, he had like this. I don't know. I don't even know what his accent was, but it was just like very very over the top. And maybe it was. Maybe that's just the way he was. But I was like, this motherfucker isn't whatever the fuck he's trying to be, you know. But
he's sneaky for the extra. He wants that. He wants the foreign tip, bro. You're supposed to tip a little more.
Yeah, yeah. It ended up being a fucking shit ton, but it was dope. It was a good time. The dude was really nice. I mean, I told my girl, I was like, I really like this guy. He was really cool. Yeah, it's been a good time. But enough of that shit, man. What's been going on for the week? How'd the week go for you?
Good, man. There's one thing that it hit directly home, bro, and that's when Covino was talking about Jordan opening up stuff and just taking one or two bites and being done, and it hit home because my chick, that's what I call her, bro. Her nickname is Nibbles because she does the same thing, and she'll get like, we'll go to the store and you know, for like movie night or we're just hanging out chilling, maybe tossing a couple back and chiefing, or she don't, but you know, whatever, and we're kicking it. And literally, she'll get 4 or 5 snacks, dude, and she'll open it, and she'll eat a couple. She might even feed me a couple, right? And then she's done. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then she's on to the next bag. And then, like, it's a cycle. But every 20 or 30 minutes, she'll nibble out of the bags again. And so that was her nickname. And she calls me Scoops because I'm like, Covino, I want to kill the whole bag. You don't open the Sour Patch, give me 1 or 2 and call it a day. Like, let's eat some Sour Patch. You know, like you just open the can of worms. It's time to devour that thing. And so no, that hit home, man. It really did.
It was funny because you sent me a video of your big ass mug and then her little ass fucking, what was it, like not even a coffee cup, it was like it was fucking tiny.
If it was espresso, it'd probably hold 1 or 2 shots, bro. The cup was like this big, dude. I mean, yeah. I think my fingers are too fat to get in the holder, bro. It was like a baby cup.
No, and then last time you sent me a picture of her Happy Meal.
She gets the hat. We go to McDonald's. She's getting a cheeseburger or a hamburger with no onions.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, when I saw that shit, I was like, fuck, dog. You know, I think I even told you, I might have in the text, this was months ago now, but I was thinking, I was like, damn, maybe I need to start eating like that. I was like, because my ass starts, to me, that's not even an option. I'm not even like, oh, you know what, maybe I could Happy Meal. She's like, no, that's just her go-to, you know. That's
yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not trying to get 4 bites of a burger and like 9 fries. I need I want the sleeve, bro. If it don't have yellow and red on the back of the sleeve, I don't want it. It can't be the paper bag.
Doug, I have a question real quick. I know we'll get into some more CNR shit right now, but I have a question when it comes to the to actually like people forgetting like little shit. If you go to like McDonald's or some shit. Are you the person that will like call and make a big ass deal if they forgot like something that's not like huge? Like, okay, I understand if they forgot like a burger or something, you're kind of pissed, but I'll give you an example. It was like maybe a month ago or not even a couple weeks ago. I got my daughter a Happy Meal, right? And it comes with her, she gets the nuggets, so it comes with the nuggets and then the apple slices and like French fries or whatever.
Right.
Well, they didn't put her French fries in there, right? And I was just like, oh, fuck it. I was like, that sucks, but oh well, you know? And I had got the Happy Meal. We went to my mom's house, and my mom was like thinking it was the end of the world. Are you going to call them? Are you going to go back? That's fucked up. They don't, you know, like they're going to get away with it. And like, you know, making this big ass deal. And I was like you said, it was like 9 French fries, like, you know, and to me, it wasn't worth calling. Fucking now I'm gonna go pick up something and it's gonna have spit in it, or you know, I'm just like,
right.
Fuck that. I was like, to me it wasn't worth it. It was just like, oh well. Are you somebody that will fuck it? If it was something like that, say that happened to you and your daughter when she was a kid, or your girl, let's say your girl, they forgot her Happy Meal fucking French fries.
No, well, it's funny that you say that because yesterday it happened. We got a go-to spot that we go and get tacos, and we ordered some food yesterday. And anyways, normally we you know we go there and everything's perfect. Well, I got some nachos, bro. They forgot the cheese, sour cream, and the guacamole, and I was just like, it was just the beans and the carne asada, bro. And I was like, man, I'm grubbing on them, but the chips were good because they just fried them up right there on the spot. And I was debating even going to ask that, you know what I mean? Just because I didn't want to be a pain in the ass. And ultimately, I didn't. I just let it slide. I was already getting full, ate what I could, and I didn't even bring it up, dude. But I'm staring at the picture on the truck, and I'm like, mine don't look like that. You know what I mean? But no, I just
see, and that's a bigger deal. That's something that I would have questioned as well. Like, damn, like I think I might have gone back for something like that, but I think I would have been right on the fence with you. Like, is it really worth it? Is it like to go, you know, like it sucks, but I mean, shit's going to happen from time to time, you know, but. So. And I
didn't because the time before that when we went, we had ordered some food and they forgot our molita and we went up there and they hooked us up. And then even yesterday, I went with my girl's son and we always split food. Like I'll order quesadilla and he'll get a torta and then we'll like share half. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they didn't cut the torta, so he had already went back and asked him to cut it. So I didn't want to be that guy, even though I felt it was serious enough, right? Like I should have went up there and said something, but all the food was good. It's always good. They take care of us. I just fuck it. I didn't say nothing.
Do you think that's more of like our parents' mentality? Like, do you think your parents would do something like that? Like, go back and be like, "Nah, fuck that," or is it just
I do
type of people?
I do. I think because I think we all have it easier nowadays than they did, than all the older generations before us. I think the value of things was more appreciated. And so I think that maybe, you know, they worked hard for little, where now, you know, you got chicks with OnlyFans getting thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the value of money is felt in our generation and younger generations the way that the value was to them, because I think maybe they literally didn't have shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't splurge, you know, like I've been to Hawaii like 20 times, bro. My parents never been to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. I think maybe, you know, but my mom would always talk about, she worked on a dairy farm and she worked all week and they gave her a candy bar at the end of the week. So I think that's probably part of where the value came from. Where us, you know, I was a hustler, bro. I had paper routes and selling candy at school and trading baseball cards, and I just, my mentality was different. So I think that their way of saving is different than mine. Although I save money for sure, but I think the overall mentality is different nowadays.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's very true, because I just think about, I don't know, to us, I remember one time, I must have been like 8 years old, right? And my mom had me like run into like the convenience store and pay for gas or some shit. And, or whatever the fuck it was. And I remember I had paid and the change was like 10 cents or some shit. And I was like, oh, keep it. And I fucking left, right? And my mom had a fucking cow. Dog, I must have been in like second grade, and I remember this shit like it was yesterday. Because she was like, oh yeah, like where's the change or whatever? And I was like, oh, I told him to keep it. And she was like, are you fucking serious? And I was like, yeah, what? Like, what's the big deal? You know, it's 10 cents or whatever the fuck it was. And her argument was like, well, she made my little ass go back in there and get my fucking change, you know? But her argument was like, if you were short that 10 cents or that 25 cents or whatever it was, they wouldn't have let your ass fucking leave. So why the fuck are you going to give it to them if they wouldn't give it to you, you know? And I was kind of like, all right, like, man, I got so my little ass went back in second grade, like, can I have my 10 cents or whatever the fuck it was, you know?
Hey, I remember, I got a good one for you. I remember even the generation before my pops, like the dude I was named after, my pops named me after this dude, my middle name anyways. And so he was over at the house one day, and I remember my pops would smoke, you know, back in the day when the parents smoked cigarettes in the house, right? I'm still from that generation. So he would throw the cigarette butts in the fireplace. And I remember the dude's name was Jay Eaton. I remember he came over one day, and he looked at the fireplace, and he looked at all my pops, and he goes, look at all that money. He goes, look at all
Yeah.
that money. And within like a month or two, my dad quit smoking cigarettes, bro. But that was the generation before him, where he was like, he looked at it, he looked at all the cigarette butts, and he goes, look at all that money. And that's all he said. He left it at that. And then, but I think even that generation looked at things a little different too, you know? I think as we get younger, we get less frugal.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I can really see that as far as like, I think I've done the same shit when I see people smoking and shit, just being like how fucking expensive shit is. I'm like, god damn, you're wasting that much fucking money on cigarettes, like. And I don't know, so I think I would have done the same thing, been like, look at all that fucking money if I was in like a homie's pad, you know. But
for sure,
that's crazy, man. But but when it comes, it's funny when it comes to nibble shit for like Covino, it made me laugh because like for me, I'm not really like, oh, let me have a piece of that or fucking whatever. But if it's something new, then I'm like it's rude if you don't fucking offer it to me, or if I'm like, hey, let me have a fucking bite of it or some shit, and then you're like, like make a biggest deal. But if it's something, dog, like Covino was saying, it could be like she'll get like Jordan will get like the little Oreo 100-calorie pack or some shit, like the baby Oreos, or he said something along those lines, and he'll be like, oh, what do you got over there? Let me have one, and it made me laugh because if it's shit like that, like Doritos or whatever the fuck, something that's very common, it doesn't faze me. But I'm not a big snacker though. I think that's part of it. Me, like, obviously I eat food, and I think that's where a majority of my shit comes from, is like I'm just like a meal person. Like I'll have 37 meals a day, but I'm not like a snacking type of person, like my girl, she'll like to grab like goodies and shit, and like my sister loves like hot Cheetos and shit like that. I've never been like that type of person, but so I don't know, maybe that's why I'm not like, hey, let me have a couple of those,
right.
But it cracks me up though, because I found it a little weird that it was like normal everyday shit. He'll be like, hey, let me have a sip of that. Like, that was the thing that made me laugh the most, is he'll want a drink of whatever the fuck he's drinking, and that made me laugh.
I'm the same way though, bro. That's the funny part. And the funny part with me is I'm the same way, and my chick knows good and damn well she's not gonna finish it, so she's more than willing to give you some of anything she's got her hands on, because she knows she ain't gonna finish it, bro. So she is always more than willing to share everything, and I'm like Covino, so it's a win-win.
That's funny as hell, because and it just made me laugh because I could just picture them on the couch like watching fucking Tombstone or whatever the fuck, Yellowstone or whatever the fuck that people watch these days, and then him be like, hey, let me have a drink of that water or whatever. He does something like super common, but he just wants a drink because she has it,
Right.
That just, it makes me laugh because I'm like, where does that come from? Like, I'm like, is it like the oldest child thing? Are you the oldest child?
I'm the only, so it could be a little bit. Yeah.
Of like where you're like, wait, hold on. I'm used to getting shit only for me, so let me have some of that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, she got me. She got me spoiled. Like I said, she knows she ain't gonna finish it. So half the time I don't gotta ask. She'll just start feeding me. Like, she'll take one, feed me one, and I'm like, all right, this is great.
Yeah, it's a trip. It made me laugh because I was like, I'm not really like that. If it's something different or new, then maybe I'll be like, yeah, let me try that shit, But if it's something more common, I'm not. I mean, you would think I would, but yeah, but
I chief, so I mean, half the time I'm willing to take whatever she's got. It all looks and sounds good at all times. So I'm like, hey, okay, cool.
Have you been watching any of the A&E documentaries that they've been having on the like WWF and shit?
No, I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've seen, I think, all of them except I've only seen like half of the Macho Man one.
Right.
But dog, they're all fucking. They've been so good, and I think it's because I grew up like a huge wrestling fan, and I caught like the ass end of the 80s, early 90s shit from like my dad and my brother and shit, where they were like, my dad and my brother were all about like Superfly Snuka and fucking Rocky Johnson, and all the old school
Yeah.
dudes. And for me, my generation, where was like my main shit was like the Attitude Era with Stone Cold and The Rock and all that shit. So watching these documentaries, it's funny because it takes me back to like being young, and I can't get enough of that shit. So like when I watched the Booker T one, I was kind of checked out of wrestling
Which I
by
was
the
always,
time.
I was always confused too. How come he just wasn't Booker fucking G, right? Why the T, bro? Like someone should have told him Booker G, right? Because he was a G.
I don't even. They didn't even really mention how he got his nickname in the show because well, the documentary that they did, they actually they talked about him and his brother Stevie Ray, where his brother's real name is Lash, Lash, and I'm like, damn, that would have been a
Okay.
cool wrestling name, like Lash, and but he went by Stevie Ray, and then they have Stevie Ray and Booker T. So I was a
Right.
fan of them in the Harlem Heat at WCW. By the time
Right.
that merger came and Vince McMahon bought out WCW, and then they had that controversy where they had to go from WWF to WWE. I was kind of checked out. I think that was when I went into like maybe 8th grade or some shit, and I was like more interested in chicks than fucking wrestling at
Yeah.
that point.
That's about where I tapped out too.
So it's funny because like I saw documentaries not on A&E because A&E's been doing like superstars, classic dudes or whatever, but I saw they have other documentaries, and they had one on like some chick that I've never heard of, and like some dude, like dog, like if they have one on like there's a guy named like Roman Reigns. If they had a
Right. Right.
documentary on him, I couldn't give two shits about him because I don't know who the fuck
No.
it is. And so
Right.
it's crazy because like I think of like the Mike Durbins, shout out to the homie, or the fucking Marty Vasquez, or those people who are still like all up in it. That would be cool for them, but I don't. To me, I don't like even like John Cena. Like I know who he
Me
is,
either. Yep.
but I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about like his gimmick, or I just know that he wore fucking jean shorts to wrestle. That's the
Right.
only thing I
Right.
know about him. So
I tapped out. I tapped out right about the time Hogan went to the NWO. Even so, I didn't even. I mean, I seen some of the stuff. Obviously, when The Rock was on there, it was blowing up. So you seen it obviously in like USA and same with Stone Cold. Like I seen some of it, but I tapped out even before that. I'm a Andre the Giant. Nikolai Volkov, Iron Sheik. Obviously, oh yeah, Macho Man
Yeah.
Randy Savage. I feel like Mean Gene in his prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bobby the Brain Heenan, Demolition. What were the other ones? There was a bunch of them. I forgot.
do you remember what was it? IRS, or that fucking dude that would come with fucking briefcase and his suit and shit, like
Ted
you remember that?
DiBiase,
No,
Million Dollar Man.
It wasn't Ted DiBiase. There was a dude. I think he went by IRS, where he would come and like he had like a white button up with suspenders and the briefcase, like he was like a tax man type of shit. That was in that same generation.
I remember the first Undertaker, bro, because there's been like 3, right?
Yeah.
Remember the first Undertaker? I thought was the best. Like this dude that retired, that's cool. But I thought the first Undertaker was the best.
No, it's the same dude. It's just he's just had different like eras of him.
I don't know, man. I think the first one was a different guy.
No, it's the same dude. His name's Mark Calloway.
Yeah,
He was like Marvelous Mark or some shit when he was in like WCW or NWA or some shit back in the day. He was this tall, like 6'8", redheaded white guy with a mullet, and you see him back in the day. He looked huge. He looked like Razor Ramon, like jacked, right? And
Right.
he had on like Stone Cold Steve Austin little draws, and that was his like wrestling attire. And then when he came to the WWF as the Undertaker, it's funny because like they had like dyed his hair and shit, and but you could still see like in his beard, like there was like some red in his beard and shit. And
Yeah.
there was a point where, hold on, what's up, Bubba? Oreo? Yeah. Bring on a little bit, Bubs, when I'm done. Mommy's right there. Why don't you tell mommy? All right. There was a point where Undertaker actually he had like broke his eye socket or some shit, and he had to wear a mask, right, for like a month or some shit. And then they came back with like a Undertaker versus Undertaker because there was like a fake Undertaker. But Mark
And I
Calloway has
remember that.
been
Yeah, I
the
remember
dude.
that.
So Mark Calloway, the actual Undertaker, he's been the same dude since like '93 or some shit, all the way up until like fucking because then he came. Hold on, what? Okay, well that's up to you and mommy. Go over there, bub. Ooh, you're about to see she get real, dog. Kennedy, hold on, all right?
Yep.
All right, cool. But they even had that like little run of Undertaker as like the American badass Undertaker, which I thought was the weakest shit of all time.
Yep.
But it's been the same dude for the most part.
Oh, okay. Hey, did you hear when I called in, the feedback was there and you couldn't hear nothing?
Oh yeah, that shit, dog. I know it's funny because when I first heard it, I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" But I think it was you, and then like one or two other dudes after the fact, and then they were like, "Oh, Covino even apologized like on all of your guys' behalf." He was like, "It wasn't them because Spot was having some kind of feedback shit."
Yeah, it was weird because I thought because remember in the Maxim days and the serious days when you would call in, you would hear them like ahead, right? Like you were behind a little or you were ahead a little bit. So when you get off the phone, you can still have a chance to hear like part of the end of the conversation with you in it, right?
Yeah, there was like a 10-second delay or some shit, you know?
Right. So it kind of sounded like that, but when you talked, it echoed. So I was like, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
But no, I was calling in though, bro, because that was a hot topic, and I think that, man, it's tough, bro, because if you get all the benefits, you got to make like $30 or $35 an hour, bro, to equal that in real life if they take it away. Like by the time you get the food, you get everything that they have to give. If you qualify for every program, especially now you're getting extra scratch. It's tough because in real life, that's a lot of money to pay for, dude, when you don't receive any of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that conversation actually, in general, it was like, I go so back and forth with it because you're talking about when they were talking about like raising the minimum wage and shit, right?
Right. Because think about it like this. I was thinking about it, dude. I've worked now in the last 9 months for 3 bomb-ass companies. Good. They're dope, right? And they all have great benefit plans. But even with that being said, Aetna and Blue Cross, I still got to pay 30 bones to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not how you should reward people.
Yeah, it's true, especially like I know like in Arizona we have something called Access, which is like their government assistance medical shit, right? And it's funny because my shit is like I don't know what mine is, but somebody who has like that government shit, they're going and getting like 100% shit taken care of, and it's just
right.
It's a trip, dog. Like I trip out because like I had mentioned something about I'm not gonna say who exactly, but I'm just gonna say there was somebody that I know of that is getting unemployment, right? They have their housing, so they're paying like $170 like for their house or whatever, because like the government takes care of like 80% of it or some shit or whatever.
Right.
And so they have their unemployment, they have their housing, they have a job where they get paid under the table, and and they have like nutrition assistants and all this shit. And I'm just like, damn, they are like working the system.
But that's the ultimate hustle. And you know what, bro? I'm not mad against any of that. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what? I'm not the dude that says, hey, figure it out and fix it. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me because I'm wired different. So none of that has any effect on my motivation and why I do what I do. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't even do any of that, right? More power to them. If you know how to work it and then it works for you and, you're able to get away with it, hey, shit, work those motherfuckers, right? Because they're going to waste your shit on some stupid bond or some stupid something anyways. My only input is that's why it's broken, because that system is set up for you not to get off.
Yeah,
It just
that's a good point.
it's set up in a way where just everything is so much better when you're on it for the most part. I mean, I know all the free stuff is not the greatest of quality, but it's still free. And so my example of that is how many times you went to go buy Head and Shoulders or Pert Plus, and the Walmart brand was like $3 cheaper, and you took that one instead, right? So, so a lot of times we do that, and like I said, I don't have a problem with it because they're just going to waste it on some bullshit and giving it to government officials and waste it anyways, and they're going to take it regardless. So I don't really care, but I did realize that the system it's tough to get off of it because of the benefits you get when you're on it.
And see, yeah, you actually make a good point because the person I'm talking about has been doing this, not to this exact extent, because especially now with like the stimulus checks and they raise the unemployment, they extend it and all this other shit. But this person has been doing it since before I was born, their entire adult life. And it's funny because it, like you said, it's not built with the intention of somebody of helping them for the meantime and helping them get off of it. They, especially when they've been they're veterans in the game of living this way, so they're, like you said, they're not building it to help them and help them further themselves. It's built, like you said, in a way for them to live semi comfortable in that way,
Yeah, for sure, man. I agree. But yeah. What else you got? Anything from the week?
Let me see. Oh, one of the things that let me take back part of what I said earlier, because I said I don't snack and shit, right? That's true if it's normal hours between 7 in the morning and fucking 10 at night. But I do have something. Rich talked about his ass in the middle of the night being a fucking savage and just eating like fucking like an entire bag of chips or whatever the fuck he was talking about. And Covino.
Well, what's the middle of the night though?
To me, middle of the night is after you've gone to sleep and you wake up. So if you go to bed at 9 o'clock and you wake up at fucking midnight, to me that's the middle of the night, Or if you go to bed at 11 and then you're crashed for 2 hours, you wake up at 1 or 2. That's to me that's how I define it. So
I'm guilty, bro.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many drunken nights, fucking 5 a.m, get up and finish the pizza, or 5 a.m, wake up and finish the rest of my burrito, or 5 a.m, like queasy as shit, like I need some food in there to mix with all that alcohol. I'm eating a jumbo-sized bowl of Captain Crunch berries, and it was topped off with some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm guilty, bro. Rich,
you know what,
I got
Doug, honestly,
I got you, Rich.
Yeah, no, that's where I could not agree with Rich more, because I'm like, there's something about it where, like, Doug, I bet you, I guarantee you, if I stopped doing that shit, I would be looking fucking like I was sickly skinny.
No, and it's the worst thing you can do too. No, and that's what's jacked up about it, is because you can't just pile on 1,000 calories and then go lay your ass down and think that it's not gonna. Because it's you're doing the laziest thing you can do, which is sleep, bro. You don't move at all unless you're a tosser and a turner.
And you know what? I wonder if this happens with Rich or with you. I'm asking you as well, but for me, I don't want to say like, oh, I suffer from anxiety, but I do have like a gang of anxiety at times. And if I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, I feel like the only way for me to calm that like anxiousness is to like fucking eat something. And then like, I can kind of relax. I feel like, and then if I don't, I'm just like sitting there, like I get amped up. Like the only way I can explain it is like, it feels like somebody's scared the shit out of you,
Right.
Scared. And so you're like, and you're super fucking anxious. And for me, just like eating something and then like, all right, fucking chilling, and I'll throw on like my AirPods and listen to like a podcast or something as I'm like trying to like kick back and relax a little bit. Then I'm like, okay, I'm settled, and I'll go lay back down. And it's like, it's terrible. It's the worst thing I could fucking do. But a lot of times I feel like that's the only way for me to calm my nerves and my anxiety is to be like, fucking chill, you know? And it's so crazy because in the middle of the night, I feel like that's when your willpower or your decision making or whatever is at its lowest, you know? I just feel like you're like, oh fuck, you open the cabinet and you're like, okay, there's some Oreos or there's fucking some chips or there's whatever. Like Covino said, he'll eat cereal boxes at a time, you know? I think he said he eats cereal by the box. So yeah,
well, and they've been robbing us too. Those boxes used to weigh like 1.5 pounds, and now they're about 4.5 bowls or 3 bowls. Right? Those boxes are slim as hell.
I thought it was me just growing up. Like, okay, as an adult, because I felt like when I was young, it was a big ass fucking container or box or whatever, and now like the super sized box or whatever, I feel like is the normal size from when we were kids.
It is. No, they mind fucked. Well, as a grocery guy, I spent most of my professional career in the grocery business. Bags of flour and sugar used to be 5 pounds each. Bottled juice used to be 64. Now the sugar and flour is 4 pounds, and the juice is like 58 ounces or 59 ounces. And they think they're hustling because a lot of times when you have that crazy ass sale on like Kellogg's or General Mills, you'll see like the core flavors 3 for $5, right? And you're like, oh yeah, shit, bought cereal 3 for $5. Yeah, dummy. One box used to be as much as 3 of them now, so they're still getting you for the $5. They're just psychologically getting you to either buy 3 different ones to boost their numbers, or to get 3 different rings, right? Because now they got 3 different scans instead of 1 scan. But you ain't getting no more cereal because you got 3 boxes. It's weight wise, it's the same as the 34-ounce box you used to get for $5.
Yeah, no, I do that a lot when I'm actually looking. I look at the ounces and shit, right? Because I say, okay, what's the better option, like per ounce, or what's the better whatever? And it's funny because I think about like you said, you'll see the deal, right? And you're like, oh, that's dope.
Yep.
Like I'll see like the generic, store brand of cereal, and I'm like, oh, like $1.14 for a box of cereal. That's what's up. You look, and it's like fucking a bowl of cereal. It's the smallest box you could ever imagine.
Well, not only that, Post owns Malto-Meal. So Malto-Meal, the cereal that comes in a bag that's somewhat cheaper than all the other cereals, yeah. I'm going to have to assume their Raisin brand is the same as the Post Raisin brand. They're the same damn company. It's just a different brand. And when I was at the grocery store, we had two different brands of store brand milk, and it was the same milk. So I don't, one was cheaper, but you got the cheaper was the same as the regular one. But yeah, man, that's crazy.
I never forget my and I don't know if everybody's like chemistry teacher in high school kind of went through this shit with them, whatever. But I never forget like my my chemistry teacher telling us about things like the generic Tylenol or the generic like fucking cereal or whatever. How they have people that are like chemists and shit trying to like get this shit to be like as close to it as possible. They're using like the same, like especially if it's like the generic Tylenol and it has like or the generic Excedrin, as long as it has like acetaminophen, caffeine, and fucking aspirin, it's the same shit, right? And I think a lot of us are so psychologically trained to say no, this one's better because
all right, I know they are. Nah, bro, coming from the grocery business, Niagara brand water makes the private label water for Walmart, Costco, Walgreens, Rite Aid. Like anytime you go look at one of those stores brand of Walmart, look at the very back and see if it says bottled by Niagara. It's all the same shit. So when people start to say that the private label at Walgreens is better than the private label at Save Mart or the private label at Costco, if you look at the back of the bottle and it says bottled by Niagara, because I wrote the orders for the water. I ordered it by the truckload. So our private label came with Niagara, and then Niagara had their own brand. So then I started looking when I went to Costco, and if you look at those, I think those are Niagara too. So it's the same shit. And not only that, if you look at it, look at the jars, dude. When you're seeing like the store brand versus like the regular brand, the jar's either going to resemble Ragu spaghetti sauce, it's going to have the yellow cap, or it's going to look like Prego. A lot of times there's a lot of money in marketing that goes into the Toucan Sam and the Rabbit on Tricks and the Captain Crunch Berries and the Soggies. Like, those are part of the price because you spend X amount of money, and the advertising dollar is definitely factored in to the price of the product. When they're just selling like jars, plain jars out the back door, they sell them cheaper because that's not figured into the price. So a lot of times that's why the store brand, because the store I worked for, we had 202 stores, and for the most part, bro, we didn't make groceries, right? So we bought our private label from other people too, and we just slapped our own label on it. So a lot of times when you're doing that, you're getting money because that advertising dollar is not factored into the price of the plain jar or the plain box or whatever when they're selling it out the back door.
That's crazy, man. That's funny. It's cool to hear like insider shit to that kind of stuff, like especially like with the water and shit, because that's something that I'm gonna start looking at that I've never looked at. Bottled by and that kind of shit,
Yeah, so a lot of times that's why the private label, you can't tell the difference unless someone swears by it because they've already got it in their head. It's like, again, I work for Save Mart. The Save Mart Sunny Select Raisin brand, it ain't like we got a cereal factory. We bought that shit from somebody, right? And it ain't going to be some crazy ass company overseas. It's some major company here, and I don't know who it is. The buyers will be able to tell you that. But at the end of the day, they bought it from somebody in a plain box. We shipped it in our label, and we charged less because we paid less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
a trip, man. It's a trip, but yeah, I always appreciate the grocery insider tips and shit that you give us.
Hey, you know what I did want to ask you though is, what about Rich and where he's calling his dude in the middle of the day and he thinks he's got privileges just to call whenever he wants?
For that, I would say Rich is no different than a lot of people I worked with as a contractor.
Right.
But this is what I'll say for Rich's contractor. It's up to him to
draw the line,
yeah, on certain things, because like on Mother's Day when he was answering texts and shit or whatever, that's up to him. If it was me, I would have been like, fuck, I'll just ignore everything work related today and fucking chill. So it's up to the contractor. And there were so many people chiming in and shit, but I saying, oh no, contractors don't work 24/7, and then people don't saying, there were some people saying they do work 24/7, but honestly, it's up to, I think, as a customer, they need to be, you need to have some sort of like courtesy, right? Like,
but hold on, respect.
Yeah, like
respect.
And so I think if you respect your contractor, and
how about you just respect people? How about when you just have a general respect for people, you don't pull shit like that, right? Like, just because you're paying someone to do a job does not mean that they do what you don't get to like choose the status of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? You should just be appreciative that they do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. Anything outside of that, dude, is just, you're violating even people in your family. There's only certain people in your family that are allowed to text you on those days or allowed to call you at all odds of the night. Just because you're paying someone for something doesn't mean you get to fucking do what you want. Like, that's just denying basic, in my opinion, respect, bro. Like, like even Covino, I'll message him once in a great while or whatnot. I'm not sending him messages at 4 a.m. Like, what would make you think that shit like that's okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably wouldn't send him one past 8 or 9 o'clock at night, bro, because I don't know what he's got going on. And it's just, I don't know. When you're raised a certain way, I think you have a level of respect that you just don't violate people. Whether
this goes into something different that we almost got into it. Actually, we did get into it a few weeks ago, and then I cut it out. And it was just so funny because Spot ended up asking Rich. He was like, does Mauser text you directly? Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
And then Rich was like, yeah, he texts me directly. And like the next day or a couple days later, Rich was reading Mauser's text, and I had commented on the in-show thread. I was like, oh, did Mauser text that directly or whatever? And then somebody had commented, he probably did. It's not that uncommon, right? And okay, that's one thing where I feel like like I have their personal cell phone numbers, right? But I'm not gonna text Covino during the day or during the show
or during
so
the
he can
show,
read my
right?
shit. So he can read my shit during the show. You have
That's what
the
the thread's
option
for.
of the in-show
That
thread on the YouTube.
yes,
You have the Carl page. You have their text number. And so why am I gonna text Covino and say, hey Covino, I believe that the cereal boxes are smaller than they used to be, or whatever the fuck.
right,
Like to me, because I think of like I just think about the people like I just feel like it's unfair in a way, right? Where the people like, what if you're listening and you've been listening for the 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you don't have Rich's number, or you don't have Covino's number, or you don't have Spot's number, and the people that because there's plenty of people that have them that
right,
have the phone numbers that don't go that route.
right,
So I feel like it's a little like I think it comes back to what you were saying about respect and shit like that. Like I just feel like people that are doing that are kind of like and I'm not calling out Mauser. I like Mauser, and Mauser is like always has like funny shit to say. But I'm saying just the general you, right? If you have their number, I just feel like that to me that kind of like eliminates part of like the fun of it. Like if you're writing something in the in-show thread and they read it, you're like, oh, my shit was maybe a little more witty than the next person or whatever. But if you're texting directly, I feel like they feel more of an obligation to read it because it's right there. You're texting them. You have this built-in friendship. Or I don't know. I just when I had got the comment about it's not that uncommon. Yeah, I get it. I get a lot of people have their phone numbers and shit. Like us included.
Okay.
But
hey, give me one second, brother.
Okay.
Sorry, bro.
Oh, you good to go? I'm just gonna complete this. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, buddy. All right. Sorry about that.
Kennedy. Bubba. Come here. Bring the phone. My headphones connected to their phone. Here, come on. Okay, well, be careful.
Okay, boom.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, bow.
Okay, Bubba, hold on. Okay. My bad, my foot. I gave my daughter my phone. And right now, I just started hearing some fucking little kid show in my AirPods. Okay.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, but I got it now. No, but when I was thinking about all that shit, Doug, like, I just felt like it kind of reminded me of, like, the contractor shit and just, like, everything in general, like you were saying, like, when it comes to, like, the respect of people and stuff, like, I don't know, it just bothered me a little bit when all of that shit came up,
I think you got to know the boundaries too. You know what I mean? Like for me, like I got a buddy, my homie Mito. You know what I mean? Like we both stay up late. He stays up late. I stay up late. We both know that, right? So with him, I wouldn't have, if I saw some stupid shit on TikTok or I had something stupid, just even a rando thought, you know what I mean, or a dumb thought. With him, I could text him at 1 a.m, right? And if he's awake, he's awake. If he's not, no big deal. Because the boundary we've kind of established between at least me and him, not a big deal, right? So, and most of the time he's awake. That's why it's not a big deal. And most of the time I'm awake. So it's not a big deal. But then there's certain people, that you don't want bugging you at that time of the night. And it's just, and they probably don't want you bothering them at that time of the night. So like, I don't know, man. Like the thing with Covino, and Rich and Mauser, and I wouldn't feel right texting Covino. Now, don't get me wrong. If Covino texted me during the show to get my input, I'd have no problem responding. right? But I'm not going to violate that deal. I wouldn't. I think you're right, dude. There's just something not right about it. But I don't know. Maybe Mauser and Rich got that friendship, and I don't know. Maybe that works for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? The one time I did text them during the show was a few weeks ago when they had that painting that I sent them. Covino was like, they were saying it was like a mystery painting or some shit about the little kid falling, the Mexican kid. And
Right.
Covino was like, he said he thought it was me that sent it. So on that conversation, I texted him and I said, yeah, I sent it. That was literally what I sent him, you know?
Right.
So I texted him, I put, yeah, I sent it, but that was all. And he texted me like, oh, I appreciate it, bro. Thanks or whatever, you know?
Right.
But even after that, I went back to texting like their text number or the fucking in-show thread or whatever. And it's not even like, oh, I don't want to piss off Covino and Rich, you know, the world famous Covino and Rich. To me, it was more about like you said, like the respect thing, like hey, this is the way their show's set up, you know, like us, like, well, we have like friendships and stuff on the side where, you know, we might help them out with shit, so we're talking about shit during the day that's like whatever,
Right.
but when it comes to showtime, I feel like that's different. Like that's a different relationship, you know. So when it comes to showtime, I'm on the fucking in-show thread or whatever and all that. So I just feel like I kind of separate the two. Like, this is showtime, this is I'm gonna do, and then after hours, you know.
I just had a theory.
What's up?
Texting them during showtime is like a stalker showing up at your job. Just saying, bro. They're at work right now. Leave them the fuck alone. Let them handle their business. They've given you plenty of outlets. To communicate. Okay? You can't be so Rich Davis that think that, you know how Rich gets where he always thinks he's right. You can't get so caught up in your question, your opinion, your deep thought that you're trying to tie into the show so bad that you're being a stalker going outside the normal, suggested, acceptable channels. I'm just saying. Deep thought of the day.
I don't know if part of it might be my own shit, but it's funny that you said that. Like, you feel like your shit is so important that you need to go to them directly, right? I feel like half the shit I say, half the comments I say aren't even worthy of being read online or on air. So it's funny because like sometimes it's a stupid little comment or it's a little a question or something that
Brown Eye 69.
Like, yeah, like something like that, you know, something like that. It'll if it's funny enough, you know, Spot will react to it or whatever, you know. That's part of the fun, you know. So I don't know, but I guess to each their own. Oh, I was gonna say with Provolone, right?
Hey, give me one more second, bro. One last second, brother. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Juan. I really appreciate it. We'll do the rest too. I'll call Martina and I'll just tell him I want to get you to the call. Okay. And we'll do the rest. That's fine. No problem. Yes. Hey, I appreciate everything you've done. You're welcome. All right, buddy. That's cool. I'll take care of it. Don't even worry about it. Thank you, buddy. Oh, I'm still on the thing. Sorry, bro. I had my... See, Rich Davis, I have my contractor come over and he treat people with respect. he came with Rich, you know, all those rich people out there. No, cool guy, man. His name was Juan, and he hooked up my window trim right now and some baseboards for me. And it was kind of a challenge because I took plaster out and I put that purple sheetrock up, and it didn't match with the window frames because the plaster was much thicker. I don't know how my house was built in like 1927 or whenever the hell they did the plaster. I don't know, but it was different. So he had to come in here and shave it down, and a couple of them, one room he had to use baseboard. But hella cool, hella good dude, and no, Rich, I would never call him. I don't even have his number. I got his homie's number, who I text that sent him, Martin, and I would never call Martin after 7 o'clock at night because I got respect for him. I would never do no shady shit. They have lives and women, and you know that they need to take care of, and family time. And my window trim fucking question can wait until fucking normal business hours. Just saying.
You know what's funny? I almost texted you last night. It was like 10:30, right? And I go. And it was actually about today's show that I was gonna tell you some shit, and you know, because I had forgot that XLR cable, so I was gonna go to a music shop, right? Turns out half the fucking places here in Vegas don't open until 11 or noon. And I was like, fuck, I would be recording by then. But I was going to hit you up and say, hey, let's move the time or whatever. And, you know, and I was like, it's already 10:30. I was like, he's fucking chilling. You know, you don't want to hear from my ass, you know. But
no,
you know,
that'd have been cool.
Time, I know you've been cool with it. But at the same time, part of me is like, it's not that important. If we were going to change the time or some shit, it was some shit that could have waited till 8 this morning or whatever, 9 this morning or whatever, you know, whatever.
Right.
And so I don't know. I just feel like there's, I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to like the courtesy and, you know, just having like normal respect for people. But I think, like I said at the very beginning, it's up to the contractor as well to
you got to establish boundaries, bro.
Set those put those lines down or set those standards, because when it comes to it, if he's not texting you back, and see, you gotta realize shit too. If you're texting him every day at 6:30 p.m. and his ass ain't texting you back, stop texting him at 6:30. His ass don't want to hear from you, you know. So
have some self-awareness. The self-awareness, bro. You have to read people. Right. Well, people tell you what's acceptable by their actions. A lot of times it's up to you to read that. Don't be so caught up in your own narcissistic behavior that you are unaware of the slow, fucking quiet signals that others are sending, because they send them. And I think a lot of times when arguments happen is when your dumbass don't get them. And then after you've texted him for 100 times in a row at 9 o'clock at night, and he's finally going to tell you to fuck off. Is what's going to happen, because you're going to push him to a point where, you know, now he's just pissed off, and it shouldn't be like that. Number one, you should have some type of social awareness that you can see what's okay and what's not okay. And I totally agree with you. You know, if I was the contractor, the first time he texted me outside of normal business hours, I would just say, hey, you know what? Politely, I would have responded like, hey, you know what? Text me in the morning at 8 o'clock, and I'll find out for you as soon as I get to work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then that way later you don't have to tell him to fuck off, because then you can just tell him, hey, bro, I've already kind of told you a couple of times, text me when I'm at work, you know, and that's when I'll figure it out. But you don't own someone's soul for 24 hours a day because you're paying them $100,000 or $200,000. And that's what Rich is going to argue, right? The amount of money I'm paying him and the amount of work he's doing and the amount of time it took, he feels like he owns this person's soul, right? And that's not right, bro.
Actually, he said something along the lines where he was like, he had mentioned the amount of money he's putting into this, and he said that the contractor only has like 3 jobs going on at one time or something, not like your average, you know, smaller contractor where they didn't realize
fucking Mr. Hits 1 was in a position to fucking judge that. My bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mr. Hits 1, you know how many jobs he should and shouldn't have, and based on that info, that's how you're going to treat this dude?
Yeah. Oh, you know, I didn't think of that. You know?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's 3 big ass jobs like Rich's?
Yeah.
And also, how big's your team, right? If you only got fucking 7 dudes, 3 jobs is a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. I know. We just going back to when I was doing that shit, like, we had a crew of like maybe like 5 dudes, and it was fucking, it does get stressful, because it doesn't matter. And you know what? It's not like, you do have those clients though that will be like, that will, you know, they do feel like, since they're paying you, and dog, it could be fucking, it's not even bigger jobs. You could have somebody that's paying you fucking what the fuck ever, the most minimal amount you can think of, and they think because they're paying you that they make all the rules, like fucking,
right,
you're their fucking slave, you know, like.
But that's deeper. You know what, bro? That's a whole deeper issue with psychological issues that person's having, because just the fact that they need to feel better and bigger than other people is a much deeper rooted issue that they need to fucking deal with. Because who cares, bro? I just be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in a competition with someone down the street or whatnot. I mean, I might notice behavior and be like, I'm glad I don't fucking, you know, smoke crack, all right? Or there's behaviors that I'm glad I don't have. But ultimately, we're all fucking equal when it comes to it. Just some of us are better at other stuff than others, and some of us try to be the best version of themselves, and some don't care. Some want to fuck their whole life off because they don't appreciate it, or maybe getting high is the most important thing in their day, but they still got people that love them too. right? So just to even walk around thinking that you're better than people is just, I don't know, man. Your only competition should be yourself, and to make sure that you don't waste the gift of life that you were given. And it shouldn't be based on what others are doing. It should just be what makes you happy.
Yeah. Real talk coming from Al Cucuy.
The Cucuy. Hey,
Oh,
I'm booking therapy appointments Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Oh, you know what? Actually, do you do the in-show YouTube thread or no?
Yeah, I watch it. Oh, with them?
Okay. Yeah.
With them? Yeah, once in a while I do. I got that new job, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm training, so I'm kind of doing all these different things. I'm training before I take my regular position, and right now I'm in this room, and there's lots of fans and vacuums, and shit's loud, bro. So I'm trying. Yeah. Oh, the way, you know what? Great tie-in. I worked with a guy on IG. His name is Husky Nipple. And I said, bro, why is your name Husky Nipple? And he said, because he has a nipple. And when they start partying and fucking everyone gets fucked up, if he flicks it, it grows. So shout out Husky Nipple.
All right.
I'm working with him over there. And yeah, man. So anyways.
You know what I was going to tell you about the intro thread? It was funny.
Yeah.
Because I saw somebody named Steven Covino on the in-show thread. And I thought somebody was trying to be a smartass, and I thought somebody was trying to be like, "Oh, it's Covino," chiming in or whatever, right? Well, it was funny. I didn't realize until this past week that Steven Covino is actually Big Steve.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because he had commented, dog. That makes me laugh so hard because Covino's dad is in his 60s, dog, and he's over here on the YouTube thread, in-show thread, commenting shit. And I didn't realize it until fucking Spot was like, it said Steven Covino, and he had wrote something. And it wasn't until I saw Spot respond, and he was like, "Hey, Big Steve," and then Big Steve was like writing the Spot, and then they're going back and forth. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, so this whole time, I thought it was some jackass who typed in their name on the chat. It was actually Big Steve that whole time.
Shout out Big Steve.
Oh man, that shit's dope. And it's
Hey, I'm glad he's interactive like that, bro. He's on it.
The after show, but later.
Yeah,
Big Steve. Hey, one more time, bro. One more time. Can we get another Big Steve appearance, please?
Let's see.
Shout out Big Steve.
Shout out Big Steve.
To the after show, but later.
Yeah.
I'll save that forever, dog. Even after.
Yeah.
After we retire on our $100 million Spotify deal, I'm always gonna have that saved.
You got to work that into the intro, bro.
I know. I do actually need to. I want to throw some shit together with like that and with our little comments and shit here and there because we've been doing it so long. The only thing is I don't want to use a track like I did last time with the Dropkick Murphys because every episode that we have there's a freaking copyright claim on it, So,
right.
I'll do something original. It'll be dope. We'll have our brand new intro that's gonna have like in-show shit,
Hey, I do want to say something though. I'm going to say this with the last couple times me calling in. I do, as much as we love to bash on Rich, and it's a great part of our show. It's a fun part of our show, to be honest with you. I do got to give Rich a lot of credit and respect because the last couple of times, I've called in. He is, he gave me that shout out on the show. He goes, Cucuy, because with the True Blood thing, and so obviously he doesn't take any of this stuff personal. And I got to give him a lot of credit for that because there's not a lot of people out there that would be able to hear the shit talk and still not change their opinion of you, not change their reaction to things that you're doing, and not just truly hate your guts, right? Because we're kind of tough on him from time to time, and the fact is that he takes it well, and he takes it well on the show too, because they fuck with him too on the show once in a while, especially with his Mickey Mouse ass voice always being a part of every show, and humping couches and blue jizz mugs, and Rich takes his fair share, and he takes it like a champ, dude. I can't tell you that I'd be that nice and chippy if someone was fucking with me all the time. So I appreciate you, Rich. Sometimes, we do say what we say, and he's dope. He's great about it. And much love, Rich Davis, Rich Side Poof, Alan Thick Burns. Love you, Rich.
Oh, you know what's funny? All right, so this is why I'll say Rich takes it like a man, and he takes it in stride. So there was something, I had these brake rotors, right, that I was gonna fucking sell on like one of our like marketplaces or whatever, right? And
Right.
Doug, I can't sell shit on that stuff. I have to go straight up Craigslist where there's like no interaction, because
Right.
the second somebody says some shit, I'm just like, I just want to go back and forth, like Doug. And I'm typically like on the Carl page on like social media for the most part. I can scroll past anything, but for some reason, if I'm selling something, I just want to fucking like, just want to go back and forth and tell people they're fucking stupid. And like, Doug, like I had put these rotors up, and this dude commented and put, at least put what car they're for, right? Like rotors go to one fucking car, right? So I go, so I comment on it, and I put, "You're a big boy, figure it out," right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he didn't like that.
No, so then he put, "Man, calm down. I was just saying." And then somebody else is like, "Oh man, like Doug." People started like saying like, "Oh, like why doesn't he just take them back?" And I was like, "Motherfucker, like that didn't cross my mind. Are you a fucking idiot? Like I didn't have my fucking receipt. They're gonna give me store credit. I don't want store credit. I want fucking cash." So because I put them like $30 less than what I
stole them, man. I stole them. All right, I'm trying to get rid of them at 60 cents on the dollar.
Somebody said that. Somebody said, "Why don't you just take them back unless you didn't pay for them?" Doug, these rotors are still in the box, right? Fucking with the everything, right? Sealed completely. I haven't opened them. And this, unless, and I looked and he was some fucking, I'm just going to say he was some dude that I would think would assume that I stole him, right? So I was just like, oh, I can't, it fucking, Doug, I want to reach through my screen and fucking punch these motherfuckers. Like, I'm just like, okay, you can't, okay. So supposedly I stole them, right? Apparently I didn't think about taking them back because I'm a fucking moron. Apparently, yeah. So I was like, you know what? If I sell shit, I've sold plenty of shit on Craigslist. I can't do this Facebook shit where there's interaction.
No, hell no. I can't do Facebook, period, bro. I ain't had a Facebook since 2016, and something like that is why I ended it, bro. I fucking check this out. I used to sell, you know me, I sell all kind of shit online, and I would sell fire sticks, and I sold enough fire sticks to remodel my whole kitchen, right? I figured it out one day. Fucking chiefed it up, watched some YouTube videos, learned how to program those things, and I was selling them left and right, dude. I was selling like as many as I could buy, because Best Buy used to have a limit where you could only buy 3 at a time. As many as I could buy in a week, that's as many as I was selling. Well, someone hit me up, and it wasn't on Facebook. I think this actually was on Craigslist, and they hit me up for some fire sticks and wanted me to go to some old folks' home supposedly or whatever, some big old story, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm good, dude. I'm only making like $20 each on these things. Wasn't worth my time. Fuck it. Blocked. They ended up, because my number wasn't blocked or something, they figured out my name, you know, because they have that caller ID shit. Now I guess you can pay extra and it tells them the name and the number. They typed it in, pulled up my Facebook. I had a Facebook at the time, and said I was working at Food Max. And the motherfucker sent me a text saying, well, how about I meet you at Food Max to pick them up? Right? Like, because they went and pulled my shit, but because of all of your stuff, so all was online, they knew my name, so they well, no, you know what they did? I take it back. They typed in my number to Google, and it associated it with my name. Then they typed in my name to Google again, Fresno, California, and then it populated all my Facebook, and it tells all your, you know, whatever you put on Facebook. And I was like, okay. So then he started. So anyways, they thought I had flagged. He was someone that sold fire sticks. And for some reason, he thought I had flagged his account. Like, I guess he kept, you know, people flag and fuck with people, I guess. I don't fuck with people. I'm going to get my money regardless. Why am I flagging you, right? Like, what you got, your ad and what you got going on got nothing to do with me getting my money, right? That's just one little avenue. I got friends of friends and words of mouth, and I'm selling these fire sticks left and right. I could give a fuck about that, you know, Craigslist shit. So he thought I was flagging his account. I'm like, man, it's $20, dude. I'm not flagging you trying to make an extra 20 spot. What, are you fucking kidding me right now? But long story short, I don't know if they had Facebook Marketplace at the time I was last on it, but the fact they were able to pull all that info, mention my workplace and this and that, I said, motherfucker, why don't you come get that shit? You know where I work? I'll be outside 1 o'clock. You want to act all fucking tough? Come over, motherfucker, since you know where I'm at. Yeah, I'm at Food Max. I'm on the west side, Fresno on B Street. Come at 1 a.m., motherfucker. Let's get down and see what's cracking. And, I'd see if you even fucking brave enough to come to the west side, let alone at 1 a.m., than to fight me in the parking lot. But I'm here, bitch. This is where I work. You know where I'm at. Come see me. And they did. Right? I mean, I don't know what you want me to say is shit. Yeah. And I know all the crackheads lurking around. They're going to scare the shit out of you, but I see them every night when I'm going to my car. So it's all good. But anyhow... I just, after that, it was a wake-up call for me, and I cut my Facebook off. I've never had one, bro, since 2016. Don't know how much better Instagram is, because I'm sure they can do the same shit, but Facebook got your religious preferences, and they tell all your fucking musical, like, someone get your Facebook profile, they know you. Excuse me. I'm good. It's creepy.
No, damn, what was I going to say right now when you were saying that? You know what, about flagging shit, it's funny because I just sold an iPhone, right? I had an iPhone 10. I just got a new iPhone, and so the other one I had, I sold it, right? I put it was funny though because I put it on Craigslist. Dog, somebody flagged it, right? And I have no clue why. Like, I fucking just put like in the description, hey, it's got a cracked screen, but I've been using it up until like fucking 2 days ago or whatever. Dog, fucking somebody flagged it, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I was like, usually I'll get like responses from Craigslist and from Facebook and from all the places I put it, and I wasn't receiving shit from Craigslist. So I went to go check it like a day later, and somebody flagged it. It said my shit was removed. I was like, dog, do people go through and just flag shit just to be like jackasses? Like, how fucking bored are you? You know?
You know what I've been doing, bro, instead, to be honest with you, is like, I don't sell bunk shit. I don't hurt for money. Like, when I sell my stuff, it's just to like, because I'm a hustler and it'll put it towards the next thing, right? But I never want it to be, to me, I'm a true businessman, and anyone who's listening to this that knows me from the old school knows I'm a hustler, but I'm a good hustler and I'm a good businessman. And the way I do business is I want it to be just as good for you as it is for me. Right. And so everyone that knows me knows that. So fuck it. At this point in time, bro, if I'm selling like last year's version of my Apple Watch, which anyone who's listening, come in October, watch for my IG and my Snapchat post, because I will be selling this one. But I sell my shit, and I figure like, I just post it on there, bro. I'll put it on my Facebook story real quick. I mean, not Facebook, Instagram story, or I'll put it on like my Snapchat. And usually someone that I'm cool with, that I know, because I don't got all kind of fake friends on there anyways. Like, all my fucking followers and friends for the most part are people that I know for the most part, except for IG. There's a lot of scragglers, I guess. But a lot of my true people, if I put it just on like my social medias, I can usually sell it that way, and I ain't got to deal with no creeps. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like even this watch, I got the 6 with cellular. I think I paid like $539. I'll probably offer for like $300. It's been in the Under Armour case and all that, so it's gonna have no scratches. So normally $300 is a hookup for somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then I can get my $300 toward my next one. So I'm not even really fucking with Craigslist.
It's crazy that you say that. It's funny because I had a dream last night that I sold my fucking Apple Watch. How fucking random is that? And
did you?
You're talking. Yeah, I swear to God, on my fucking kid, that I had a dream last night that I sold an old Apple Watch, and you're fucking talking about it. That's fucking.
It's crazy shit, bro. It's crazy shit. Crazy shit. Hey, I got another one for you, though. I got a question.
What's up?
When did Spot, or should I say Spike, get so damn sassy and angry, bro? Because when I first started, he was timid, he was quiet, and he didn't really say much. They kind of bullied him, to be honest. I mean, I hate to say it, sorry, Covino, but they were kind of addicted to Spot back in those Maximum days. But now I think Payback's a bitch, because boy, he barks and bites and snaps. And when did that? I mean, and why not just a happy medium? Like, I don't want to see him get bullied anymore. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But like, he's the asshole of the show for the most part. He'll tell you to fuck off in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would say, because I noticed it a little bit. I think I was on the ass end of him being fucking like nerdy Spot, right? Because I started listening in 2012. Actually, like 10 days, 9 days from now, will be the 12th anniversary of me listening to them.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, I started listening in 2012. I would say by like 2014, he started getting a little spiteful because I met them in 2015. And I think by then he started getting like a little more sassy. And then maybe it could have been the move to California because I think I met them in 2015 in Scottsdale when they were on their road trip to start working in LA. And
Yeah.
then I think it was a little more noticeable after that. So it could have been a lot of
It's
things
L.
where he had.
Are you saying this is LA spot?
I think it is. I really think it is because think about that first like year that he was without Kristen. Remember, she was still living in New York.
Yeah.
So there was that first year where he was by himself, and then Covino and Rich being on his ass about like whatever about editing this and doing that, or I don't know if they were on his ass. I'm assuming, but think about it. Now he's been there for a couple of years. Well, he's been there for like years now, but I think that was the start of the sassier spot was when they moved to LA. That's
Bro,
probably where I would mark it.
but what about when he couldn't get a chick and he was talking about Tuesday? Right? Remember that version of Spot? Tuesday. And now, bro, he's hiking with other chicks while his married wife is gone or at home. I mean, where did he go from Tuesday and scared to kiss chicks at the Maxim party or the Madden party or Hot 100? I forgot where was that, bro, where they were trying to challenge him to kiss random chicks. And now he's over here hiking with other girls who are attractive, right? So he's with two other attractive chicks going on hikes while his wife is away or at home. Like, that transformation is huge. And I'm proud of Spot, and not only that, now he's like the cook and the baker and like he's got all kind of other skills. So those are awesome things. I like to see that growth, right? That's awesome. But he has got a little more cocky, slight borderline dickish for sure. Which it don't really bother me either because obviously he don't do that shit to me. It's just very, very noticeable that he's got a temper all of a sudden, bro. And
where I noticed this, I'll tell you where I noticed this. And since you're not on the pages and shit, you won't know. But last night, one of the listeners, that's a chick, she'd been listening for years. She had commented about Friday show. Friday they did their free Twitch Friday. And she had said that it wasn't up to par and it was annoying. And I hear what she's saying on certain things because they made it to where you can like pay for their sound bites and then you can play them whenever or some shit. You pay like $1 and you could play like fuck 4 people or some shit, whatever. Where I get that. But Spot had said, and this is where I agree with Spot 100%. He was like, this isn't to like fucking gain you as a listener. Like, you're a fucking listener. Twitch is like, that's the kind of shit they do on Twitch, right? So if they can gain, fucking 50 people on Twitch because of that stupid shit, if somebody, started listening and they're like, oh, I could pay $10 or $5, whatever, $1 to play this soundbite, and they do it, and now they're like, oh, cool, they feel the interaction, then why not fucking let them do it and gain a couple more people that they never would have had. Right? Us fucking diehards that have been listening for fucking years on end are gonna listen regardless, right? Whatever direction the show goes, we're gonna be there. We're ride or dies. The people that they're attracting with Twitch, with fucking, if they go on Discord or whatever the fuck, I don't even know how Discord works, but however they do this shit, they're trying to broaden their horizon, right? They're trying to get new people that haven't listened to the show, that haven't been exposed to the show. So if these stupid little sound bites or whatever are gonna attract new people because they feel like they can interact, then so be it. So I don't understand when people start bitching about, oh, it's not the show. Well, it's not the show. It's not their Monday through Thursday show. It's a Friday show. It's an extra show. It's to gain new people. So why are you bitching about it?
Because those people ain't happy anyways, right? The people that find the room to see, like, you know, I make a lot of jokes, so I talk a lot of shit. I'm a shit talker, but to complain is a whole different thing. And the people that like to complain about little stupid shit, they're not happy, bro. If you got to throw a complaint, or you think that your opinion is, I mean, I guess it's a platform, right? It's a social media platform, and I guess that's what we're trained to do, is that it's okay for everyone to voice their, as Covino would say, wrong opinion. You know, and everyone's entitled to it. However, those people probably ain't happy in real life, or they wouldn't be bitching about stupid shit. Who fucking cares? You don't like the soundbite? Don't buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I love Nikes, bro. Nike's my favorite shoe, but fucking 9.5 out of 10, I don't like them and shit. But that don't mean I don't buy Nikes, right? I just don't buy the 9.5 out of 10 I don't like. The fuck? And I don't bitch about it.
That's what Spot said. If you don't dig it, then don't listen. Fucking, you can listen Monday through Thursday to the normal shit. You know, and then. But how about you just don't? How about you just don't buy sound bites? Like, even then, why would you not listen because you don't like the sound bites? Just don't buy the sound bites, you dumb bastard. No, okay. Let me defend the person that was bitching. You don't have to buy the sound bites. It was other people could buy them, and during Covino and Rich's show, you would hear it randomly, right? So say El Cucuy buys Fuck Poor People, and say they're talking about somebody with cancer, right? And then somebody randomly can play Fuck Poor People, you know? So that's what she was bitching about.
Well, then get mad at Twitch.
Yeah. Or don't listen on Twitch, because that's Twitch's way. That's what Spot said. There was 85 comments on that thread the last time I seen it, where Spot was like, then don't fucking, that's what he goes,
hey.
Spot had said, if you listen on Twitch, this is the way people do it on Twitch.
I'll just say this. Tell me, smoke something nice. Get on there, start fucking around, bro, thinking you're funny and shit. I mean, that would be funny. Fucking fuck poor people. I mean, Rich should have never said it. They made a clip. It's like a meme that won't ever go away. And if you have the option to buy that thing and play it, I mean, I don't know, bro. I can't tell you I wouldn't be guilty of doing it. That's funny as hell.
That would be funny, and especially like if they like say Rich was talking about like just, I don't know, you know, I can't think of an example, but to play one that's like unnecessary, or, you know, I think would be fucking funny. Like say they're
talking about the pandemic and the payout, bro, and the shit we were just talking about, right? Yeah. When we were talking about, you know, the benefits, and it's cheaper to, you know, you get more out of it when you stay in the system. That's when you'd play the Rich Davis Fuck Poor People, right? That shit would be funny as hell.
No, see, like, or even the little kid, who was he? Jonathan the Zombie, right? I like turtles, you know? Like half the time, if they're talking about something that I'm over, I'm like, man, this shit's fucking boring. Or if it's something that, not even I'm bored, sometimes I just think it's funny, just like text them, I like turtles, like randomly. Like, right. I think that would be funny as fuck if they're talking about something, and they're talking about like the NHL or something I don't give two fucks about, and then just put like a random, I like turtles. I think that'd be funny as fuck, you know?
Well, and not only that, did they forget, the listener, whoever that was, forget what show they were listening to? The show that brags that they're the most interactive show on radio, and that is giving you interaction at its finest. So it's just to me, it's the classical example of someone that says, I want to be a part of the most interactive radio show, but then I'm going to complain when it gets too interactive. Like, I don't get it. And especially if Twitch isn't their major platform, like you said, if that's too much interaction for you, which, I mean, I don't know, man. Too much interaction to me is, I don't think you can get enough, right? Because they already make us feel part of the show. So, like, I dig it. So if you can get more interactive, and it's not like the show went that route 100%, that's just a free Twitch Friday. They've only done a few of them, and you're bitching about it? Like, just, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like 3. They've done like 3 of them.
I like it. I think it's dope. I think you're right. If they're talking about something boring and shit, and you can throw in, I love turtles. I mean, bro, and then especially like me and you, now that we're talking about it now, and I don't know who else listens to this show that listens to that show, but I know there's a few people out there. So maybe they're listening to this show, and then maybe they're doing a free Twitch Friday, bro, and they throw in I love turtles when it gets boring.
You know what? That's another thing. You know what? Let me look something up real quick. Okay. So another thing that people were bitching about is that I guess apparently, you know, apparently, kid, where's he at? Apparently during the show, let me see if I could pull this up. Inbox.
Patient and according are better, but that's just those are my favorites.
What?
I know apparently, but and I know they really can't say it anymore because they're I get it, but I like patient and according better.
They look at this shit, dog. So
out of the Lee brothers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what the fuck you're talking about, dog, and I just wanted to move forward. I was like, I don't.
I love turtles.
No, okay. So apparently during all right, it's all coming full circle. I get it now. So apparently during the show, there was in-show like ads that were playing. Right, I didn't get any of them, and I didn't understand because people were bitching on the Carl page like, oh, there was in-show, ads or mid-rolls or whatever the fuck they're calling them. And they were like, that shit was annoying. And somebody commented like, oh, if you're a subscriber to their you like actually, I don't know if you pay or some shit, but somehow you become a subscriber to their Twitch, you don't get those ads.
Through the Amazon,
right?
If you're Amazon.
Okay, so if you do that, you don't get the ads or whatever, right? Well, it was funny because somebody, his name's Jeremy Cole, Kohl. I want to thank that dude because he gifted us, Cucuy and myself, the After Show But Later subscription. So he commented, I gifted you guys a subscription. Watch, what did he say right here? He put, hey, I think I gifted a subscription on Twitch. I'm hoping you got it and Twitch didn't rob me. LOL, I appreciate it. I did it because I appreciate the show you do. So this dude fucking gifted us a subscription to Twitch, dog. So that was fucking... Jeremy. Yeah, so shout out to Jeremy Cole, Kohl, because... Is that how you pronounce it? You have to, right? Cole? Kohl?
Yeah.
All right. So shout out to Jeremy.
Or maybe it's Jeremy Cool, because that was a cool thing to do.
Jeremy Cool, that's what it was. That's his name from now on because that was dope. Like this dude, like we hear from people, that are supporters of the show, like the Crystal Brays and the Soupies of the world, the people
Funky
that
Monkey.
are there. The Funky Monkey, man. So you hear Baseline Trey and
Stickman.
So
Stickman. Tip
These
Dog
people are people that we know have been listening, but when you hear
my girl
like Jeremy, who I didn't even know was listening, and he randomly hits us up that he gifted us something, that's fucking dope, dog. That's like super dope.
You know what that is, bro? Since it's Jeremy Cool, that's the true cool guy discount.
That is. That's how we're gonna spell the cool guy discount. KOHL, cool guy.
Yeah, that's the cool. So when we get shows and we can give discounts like our code name or whatnot, we'll just do the cool guy discount, bro.
Oh, and you know what? For the people that are listening as well, remember you still have about 10 or so days, 10 or 15 days to gift somebody a subscription to Covino and Rich's Patreon and be entered in their drawing to win, I believe, at least $500. It might be more than that. So, so give somebody a subscription and then fucking get your name in the drawing.
You know what? I'm feeling generous. Next show, let's give another one away.
Let's give one away next show?
I miss our game show days.
You know what? That was fun. Let's fucking do it. Then we're gonna have to. We'll gift another one. Another one brought to you by El Cucuy. So we're gonna gift one away next show.
No, brought to you by the After Show But Later. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Yeah, there we go.
And I'll make a deal. Yeah, if they we'll give this one away and we'll give away another one the next week. But please just tell people about our show too.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing. If we're gifting you a subscription, just fucking, if you could, it would be dope to like screenshot our show and say, hey, they fucking hooked it up or some shit. Just spread the word. Word of mouth will help us out, tremendously. So. And
all you trifling ass dudes out there that go through your lady's phone, because I know you're out there. I know you're out there and you go through your lady's phones. Since you're doing that already, can you just go and download our show to her podcast or to her Spotify so that it gives her a notification just to help us out a little bit. She might still hit clear. She might not listen to it. But since you're already snooping through her shit looking for dudes' numbers and text messages anyways, just download the After Show But Later on there. Set notifications on for when the new episode comes out. Just help us out. Look out for your boys.
Oh, Doug, and it's fucking funny. There's did you listen to Dane Cook back in the day?
Nah, some. I heard some of his shows. I wasn't like dedicated.
I fucking loved Dan Cook back in the day. There was this bit he had where he talks about you stepping out on your lady, right? So you fucking you cheat on your lady, and then you become more suspicious of her because you know
Right.
you're
No,
a fucking dirtbag.
that's what
And it was
happens.
fucking funny. He was like, he said you start going through her shit. It reminded me of you saying going through her phone. This was like
Right.
the old school version of that, right? Going through the purse because this is like 2006 Dane Cook
Right.
special, and you're going through her purse, yeah, and you're going through her purse like you're gonna find the dude's dick in there and pull it out. You know? What is this? You know?
Well, you know what? Or even at worst case scenario, maybe she had children with somebody else, and you're going to go through her pictures or something, and you're going to see a picture from like 15 years ago, or like something that maybe just had the kids in it that she didn't want to get rid of because it doesn't mean nothing about the dude anymore. But maybe it's just a good picture of her kids. Right. And you're gonna assume weirdo shit already. And it's just like, I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't do that. And my last two relationships, I ain't ever went through no one's phone. Dude, the Covino Rich said it a long time ago that if you look for something, you're gonna find something. And it might not even be anything of material. Like I said, it could be an old picture from 15 or 20 years ago. You know, maybe those two hate each other's guts right now, but she kept it because the kids were in it, or she liked how little Junior was looking that day, or that's, 2 weeks after he lost his first front tooth, or whatever the reason she's got the picture for, you're going to automatically, because you're looking, you're already going to turn into something weirdo. So for me, I don't.
Right away.
Yeah, no, man, check it out. If you treat your lady like a queen, you're giving her the diesel, right? You're doing your job in the bedroom. You're treating her like a queen. You're a man that you don't have to be balling out of control, but at least you got your priorities straight and your bills paid. That should be good enough, bro. And if it's not, and she's looking for some other D somewhere else, then you didn't need her. But going through her phone and violating her privacy is just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Can't do that.
It's funny because I don't even know if I might have like the password of my girl's phone. That's how much I don't go through it.
Right. No, and my chick always, she's open, and I'm open with mine too. I don't care. I said, I ain't doing shady shit. So if you ain't got, but you're right though. If you ain't doing shady shit, you don't act like that. I think that's a lot of times when people are acting up, they're giving it away because they're already suspicious of the other person because they know what their own behavior's like, and it shows. You start acting like a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm like, go ahead, go through my phone. You'll find a picture of the new audio interface, the new Zoom fucking shit that El Cucuy bought.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Okay, have at it. I'll go fuck like.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
My homie Luis, I talk about just about every show. He sent me a picture of his kid, and the last time I saw her was in January, and she sprouted up. Now she's like fucking like so much taller than just from January. She's only like 2, so the kids are growing at a crazy speed, right? And I'm like, so if you want to go through my phone and see a picture of Luis's kid, have at it. That's cool. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Hey, I did. I did want to give a little music that I grew up on, some shout outs. You a couple episodes back, you played some X-Rated, so a little bit of history about me and my upbringing and the music that I kind of grew up on. I kind of want to get some shouts out because maybe it'll help people understand my point of view, sometimes and in my visions. But no, I grew up on like. First of all, what'd you grow up on? What was when you were growing up? What did you dabble? Were you like a multi-genre person? Were you a dedicated most people that are dedicated to country, like that's all they're really listening to is country?
I had phases. I went through and you know what? I think that's why I'm like more well-rounded. I can tell you exactly where my phases were. Growing up as a kid, I was nothing but like Michael Jackson 5 up until like maybe 5th grade or so, and then like 6th, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th grade.
That was back when Michael was Michael.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like I think was around the time like the History album came out, and
okay.
Man, that was like I think it came out like 96 or 7, and I was like 9 years old.
Oh no! Then. Oh yeah, no, 96 or 97. He was Michael.
Yeah. It was. I grew up like when I was a kid, like I remember watching like the black or white video, like when that was.
Yeah.
And so but again, like when they'd have like marathons on MTV. I watched The Making of Thriller. I don't know how many fucking times I saw The American Dream, The Family, about with when about the family, about the Jacksons and all that. So that was all the way up until like maybe 5th grade, and then like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, it was nothing but like boy bands and pop music, and like whatever was on the fucking radio is what I was into. I was Rich Davis from like 5th grade to like 7th grade, and then 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. That was when I went more like actually. I think I started to dabble in some like music with my cousins and shit, but that was when I got like into like the X-Rateds and Brother Lynch Hung and Tech Nine, and that was where I was just listening to nothing but that fucking Eazy-E. I became like the biggest fucking Eazy-E fan around that time, like dog, where I fucking was watching documentaries on him, listening to everything he ever put out, and then let me see, that was probably like 9th grade. Then I went. Probably, I think I was more like, I had like a little pop rock type of phase, but then like towards the end of high school, I got like maybe junior year, became like a diehard country fan and listened to nothing but country, right? 90s country, 2000s country, the Tim McGraws, the Brad Paisleys, the Alan Jacksons, that type of shit. And then right after high school, my buddy Chris introduced me to a lot of metal and like fucking like Children of Bodom, like I've mentioned a million times, fucking Cradle of Filth, Lamb of God, type of shit like that. And then, of course, throughout that, I had like a Bob Marley phase and shit like that. So, I mean, overall, I don't know what I'm not into, to be honest.
Damn, that's crazy. See, for me, I was around everybody. Like we talk about it. I grew up in a pretty diverse neighborhood, and obviously music goes along with that. So, I used to hang out with straight stoners, right? Megadeth, and they had their little jean jackets with the patches. I knew them cats. I knew I knew the hippies, right? And they were all playing Bob Marley and Grateful Dead. Dude, I went to some Grateful Dead concerts. I seen Jerry Garcia live, but that wasn't my jam. I never had their music, but I went there and I was, around it. Even now, I mean, I got, a homie, Tip Dog, he plays Christian music. My girl plays the Christian music. So I've heard that, that plays often. I'm around it. Again, it's not necessarily on my phone, but I hear it often, country music.
Let me interrupt you real quick, because there's a couple of things that I even forgot about too. Like there was like grunge phase, like, of course, and you can't go wrong with like Nirvana and shit like that. But when you said Christian, Doug, there was even like a classical music phase when I learned how to play guitar that I went through, and then there was a Christian rock phase where like I was listening to like everybody with your fists raised high, let me hear your battle cry tonight. I don't even know who the hell sings that, but
right.
But there was Christian rock. There was a couple of Christian rock bands that like there's some Christian songs that I fucking dig that were Christian rock. So it's a trip that you said that, because that's something else that triggered that another little phase I went through,
Yeah, and my chick, when she's trying to relax, that's what she'll listen to. Like maybe, if she didn't have the best day at work, or just maybe the kids are out of control, or anything. She just that's her way of calming down, and it helps, So I've been around everything. And then the Vatos back in the day, like the old school Vatos, they were into heavy metal, Metallica, a lot of them, and then they rap too. And for me, my first tape I ever bought was Eazy-E. It's funny, it was Easy Does It, and then my buddy bought NWA, and we bought the tapes and we took them home and we dubbed them for each other, so we each had the other one. And and I grew up on the DJ Quick, High C, Second to None, AMG, Bitch Better Have My Money, but a lot of it, like my main background is a Bay Area, right? So gotta give love to obviously E40, Mac Dre, Messy Marv, Yuck Mouth of the Loonies, Spice One, Sibo, Brother Lynch Hung, Master P, the early Master P. I think the last Master P album that I really fucked with was Ghetto Dope. I did like Ghetto Dope. That was clean. And he had a couple of songs on maybe a couple TRU albums after that were cool. But once he like submerged in New Orleans and it wasn't really like that Bay Area flavor no more, and like he really blew up, had major love for Master P, because how do you hate on someone getting hundreds of millions of dollars? But from what I grew up on, the sound changed. I like the Richmond, California Master P, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me, Little Rick, Deep in the Game, 99 Ways to Die, all that Master P. But obviously Too Short, Selsky, Snoop. I mean, everyone got to love Snoop, right? Richie Rich, The Click, so that's a little bit of my background. Back when rap music, I don't know, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but the Mac Dre's and the E40s back in the day and the Too Shorts, it was deeper than just look at my jewelry and I'm riding this and look at this girl. They were spitting game, right? Like E40 would tell you, don't get gassed at 2 in the morning. That ain't smart. You know what I'm saying? Like he would, always take the back route, take a different route home. And you know what I'm saying? And always rat heads get none but cheese. Like this 6ix9ine shit where it's cool that he told on everybody. E40 got a song called Rat Heads Get Nothing But Cheese, y'all. And we that's just how we grew up. So a lot of me personally and my experience and background was based on the music that, that I kind of grew up on. Although I was well-rounded, I'm aware of everything else. Like that's what I fucked with, and a lot of what, a lot of it about me. That's it.
There's so much shit that you're just like sparking memories and shit, dog. Like when you said Metallica, I never forget. I really got into Metallica for a minute with my my homie Luis and his cousin Ralph. His cousin Ralph had this Bronco that had this fucking dope ass sound system in it, and I never forget hearing like One or Nothing Else Matters, or these type of shit where it was just fucking hitting and fucking and with the fucking bass in it, and it was just like, fuck, dog, I got into that shit. And then like when you were saying about some of the Master P shit, it reminded me of like some like Biggie and Tupac that I got into, where I was just like, who the fuck is this? Who, or what is it?
Yeah.
He said calling me or paging me at 9:46 or 5:46 in the morning or whatever, And
Right.
I was like, damn, Doug, it's so crazy because I went through so many fucking like, genres of music. And Doug, one thing that I didn't even talk about that was like such a huge influence from my family was the fucking oldies and shit, the lowrider oldies. The lowrider oldies,
right.
the Angel Babies and the fucking, Sleepwalker and
Shit, the Lighter Shade of Brown, bro, back in the day. Remember that?
Sunday Afternoon.
Oh, bro, that's classic. Hey, another side note, bro, check it out. So when we were doing the hip-hop label thing back in the day, that Young Savage album, we were out in Reno promoting. And my other homie that listens, B. Riley, he was living out in Reno. And I remember this was like 2003, I believe. And we went to the strip club, and we were promoting at we went to all the strip clubs promoting the album, but we went to the strip club. And I remember there was this stripper, bro, and she was on me, right? But I was in a relationship, and I was committed. So I was like, I couldn't really fuck with her like that because she wanted more than lap dances. So I called the homie. And he came down there, Brendan, his name Brendan Riley. So he came down there, and quickly he took her off my hands or whatever. And I don't know what his situation at the time, but he ended up hooking up with her. Well, long story short, bro, she was the baby mama. He had like a 3-year relationship with her, and she was the baby mama of one of the dudes from Lighter Shade of Brown.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and he pulled her at the strip club.
You know what's funny about that is that you say Lighter Shade of Brown. I just made like a little playlist on my fucking on my little iTunes or whatever on my phone, and it was like Lighter Shade of Brown. I had fucking Candyman, fucking Knocking Boots. I had so much like old shit. I had the Darkroom Familia, A1.
Oh yeah, knocking boots, bro, knocking boots. Now you're bringing back memories. That was great too.
It's so crazy, Doug. You say one thing and it for some reason sparks like other shit. Like right now I talked about have you ever heard of like Darkroom Familia with like Marijuana Dreams or A1 Choncha or any shit like that?
Probably if it played, like the titles, like I said, it never was in my playlist, but they probably played it. I'm sure I heard it. I'm for sure.
I remember I thought A1 Choncha, it was the dirtiest song of all time, but I thought
A1 Choncha.
Yeah, it went like A1.
Hey bro, hey, did they have are they the ones with that song Telemeto y no telesaco?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, they should tell me. That's a great song idea.
No, I had Doug, I even went through like I even dig shit. Like there's some songs that are in like Spanish that I dig them, but I don't even know what the fuck they're saying. I know every word to them,
Yeah.
Like
fucking
yeah, man. There's no, it's just crazy when I think about all this shit. Like that I don't know. Maybe that's why I get along with like so many people is because like fuck man, like I think of like you said that Easy E album. Like I remember that Easy Does It with Ruthless, Gangsta
Oh
Definition,
yeah.
Villain, Leave his shit
Mm-hmm.
unlocked because he's stealing. So call the
Yeah.
police because that's all I could do. He get away without leaving a clue, and I bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
And you know what's crazy is I feel stuck once in a while, man, because I look at these new cornball ass rappers. Like I said, with 69, he thinks it's okay that he could publicly go on national TV and snitch on someone and come back and like it's cool and people support him. Like when I was growing up, no one's fucking with you after that, bro. Like you're done. That's it. You're through. I don't care what you got or who you are or whatnot. You're cut off. Your ghetto pass is revoked. You ain't ever coming to a neighborhood again. You better not do a venue at one of them little rusty ass strummers downtown or one of these smaller venues because someone's gonna get your ass guaranteed. And like a lot of this stuff they talk about where they're showing money like on IG and they're showing their location. Like I'm old school, right? Motherfuckers are gonna rob you, bro. Like you can't be showing 50, 100 G's on IG and your location. Like you are asking for trouble doing that. And I don't understand these cats, man. And a lot of them, like Little Uzi Vert, they're wearing purses and chokers. And I mean, I know we're in a different time, so I'm not judging them for doing it. And if that's what you want to do and it's acceptable, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? That's the look you're going for. Hey, more power to you. But I can say respectfully, I don't understand. I don't understand, bro. And that's. And it also but it translates too because it translates to the music. So I think there's a lot of it that I just don't get. A lot of these new ones, like I just don't get it, dude. And I don't hate. I just don't listen. You know what I mean?
There's it's funny because you say where these dudes are talking about snitching and shit, and like there's on that Easy Does It album where they're like, you ever been in? They tell Easy E they have somebody interviewing him. You ever been involved with an armed robbery? He's like, you mean a 211? And then he's like, they're like, how exactly does that go down? He's like, wait in for, what did he say? Wait in for the something. He's like, I got another trick up my sleeve. And then he talks about like going into the actual pad and like fucking ganking those fools. And like, it's crazy, man. Now these fools are talking about like fucking I fucking told on these motherfuckers and like,
which is the opposite. It's the opposite, bro. Go, for everyone out there that wants to know a little bit, about my thought process and how I think. Go to watch that American Gangster where they did the American Gangster on Mac Dre. For you, those of you who are listening, the difference between 6ix9ine, Mac Dre did 5 years in prison because he wouldn't acknowledge that his homies were going to rob a bank. He didn't do it. He wasn't even there. They got him for conspiracy. All he had to say was, yeah, I knew they were going to do it. And he wouldn't have went to prison. He went to prison for 5 to 7 years. He got out in 5 because he wouldn't even acknowledge that he knew they were up to something. And this motherfucker's over here telling on people and putting people behind bars. He doesn't have to even do a simple acknowledgement and he's doing 5 years. I think Jay Diggs, if you guys want to look in, he did 10 in the robbery. And it's like, these guys over, it's and then you brought up, X-Rated. X-Rated did 25 to life for a double murder, right? He didn't drag nobody down with him. If he had accessories, the cops didn't know about it. You know what I mean? And he literally did like 23 of them years before he got out of prison. Those are the motherfuckers that I grew up with that got respect, that, if they're going to do the crime, motherfucker, they're doing the time. They are not living in the moment so much that they're going to rat and compromise their dignity and manhood because they made a mistake. They can't fucking, deal with the consequences.
Doug, you know what's crazy that you mentioned about X-Rated and him, doing 20 some odd years in prison? I never forget, I was talking to my cousin, Junior, who, if you're listening, shout out Junior, he fucking, I remember him talking to me about X-Rated, and I think I mentioned it on the show before, but I never forget, we were talking about X-Rated, and we were talking about how he was going to get out in like 2019 or some shit, right? And I remember us thinking about how many years into the future that was. We were like, fuck, that's crazy. And it was crazy because I seen him on YouTube like a year ago being interviewed. He's out of prison now and shit. And it just tripped me out. Like that, I really felt like I was fucking like dating myself or it was like reality check. Like 20 years had gone by since we were having that conversation. And now this motherfucker's out of prison and, doing interviews on YouTube. It was crazy,
But check it out, and here's what society, the fucked up world we live in, don't understand. Right, 6ix9ine is acting more of a fool now than the dumbass was before he went in. He's starting beefs with Meek Mill. He's up to the same old shit, and it is very obvious his little bitch ass, punk ass did not learn shit. Right, because he got no appreciation for none of that shit because he didn't do the real time he was supposed to. X-rated.
You think they didn't put his ass in solitary? You know,
Like, he was in protected custody.
He was
PC'd up. No, he was PC'd up. And the thing is, but what they did by not disciplining him the right way and allowing him to snitch is they actually made the monster worse because he's worse now than he was when he went in. If you look at X-rated, someone that killed 2 people, allegedly, but did time for it, you know what I'm saying? And he got out. He's changed his whole life. And really, on like the music side, he's back touring with Brother Lynch Hung. I think they're on tour somewhere now, him and Lynch. You know what I'm saying? And he really did the shit. 6ix9ine was no gangster. He was a wannabe ass gangster that got caught up in the situation, and that's why he told, because real gangsters wouldn't have did no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He was playing the part. The problem by them not making him do his time, he's still out there playing the part, and he's worse than he was. Whereas X-rated, who really was about the shit he was talking about, did his time and actually used it as an opportunity to change his life. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy when you look at it, man. And that's why I only fuck with them old school rappers, because they're still spitting game. And I'll tell you this, bro. When I did get into the music industry, a lot of that shit is fake. And they say don't believe 85% of what you hear or see on tape, because half of this shit is fake. And so it's really a wake up call when people that are talking about Bentleys and this and that and the other are living in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So when you roll up on them and you're trying to do some music with them and they're in the PJs, and you're like, what? I thought you were talking about Lambos and Ferraris and shit. And, I'm picking you up. Like, how did that shit work out? You know what I mean? But so I got a lot of love and respect for the people that are about their business and do what they say they're going to do. And these new cats, man, I just don't understand, man. I try to stay relevant, but.
No, you know what's funny? There's a track that X-rated had, where we he says, do you remember, was it Liquors and Triggers? Do you remember that shit?
Yep.
I don't love you hoes, I don't love you ninjas, all I'm giving the fuck is about my liquor and my
liquors
trigger.
and my triggers. Yep. Absolutely, bro.
I'm off that OE. Dog, I completely forgot about that shit until you were talking, and I sparked another memory.
That's his best CD, bro. The Exorcist. That was the whole thing was recorded over prison. Or no, he was in Sacramento County Jail. He was in Sacktown. And the whole thing was recorded over the phone. And like, it's a little hard on clarity a little bit, but bro, he was lyrically, like, he was spitting it, and that shit was real. He'd only been in there for like 3 or 4 years, and he was it was raw and uncut. Like, I don't know, man. I don't want my music to be like the movies where, when it's all said and done, Superman really can't fly. Like, I'm not into all that, right? Like, if you're spitting about it, I want to feel it. And I don't know, man. I don't know. My music can't be like Spider-Man really don't stick on a building, because I get disappointed.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. But you know what? I think we're gonna have to. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah. I think we're gonna finish up here.
With or without a Magnum?
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's funny that we've been doing this shit because I actually had to MC an event the other day for work, and. It was fun. I had a white button up and a tie, and fucking it was funny because like it was, I think we do this shit every week, that it was so much easier to do that shit and just like feel comfortable, but the only thing that made it a little awkward is that like I took my microphones and I took some lights and all this shit, and I had all that shit up in my office, and so people that were walking by like were asking like, oh fuck, like why do you have all this shit? And I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the event tonight. And they're like, okay, but why do you have it? And some of the people that I was like, oh, I have a podcast, and then they were like asking like, what's it about? And then it was funny because some of the people that were asking, I was like, oh fuck, there ain't no way in hell I want them to listen to it, but like there's this old fucking Mexican dude that was asking about it, and if he's listening, fucking he's listening. Ain't shit I can do about it. But he was asking me about it, and I was like, oh man, I don't want this motherfucker to listen. I'm like, but it was just, it got a little awkward when people asked me, well, why do you have it? I'm like, I don't want you to fucking, I was just kind of like, oh, I like to record shit. I was just like, it made it really awkward. But anyway, the event I did was fucking cool, man.
Well, that's crazy too, because when I did work for the grocery store, I held back a little more. You know what I mean? And when I worked for the healthcare company, I couldn't really tell you all my true opinions about COVID and based, because I was employed there, so I didn't want to say nothing about the company or nothing like that. So it definitely, I got a job now that I'm a little more free. Anyone that knows me knows I love to burn. I love to smoke, and professionally though, obviously my priorities come first. But in my time, I like to smoke. But I kind of held that back before because of my jobs and whatnot. Because I'm a true professional, and I wouldn't want any of my colleagues to think anything different of me. But I was kind of same thing though. With that being said, we still talk about some controversial stuff sometimes. So I didn't necessarily want to tell everybody that I worked with either, because that's the last thing I wanted them to do at the water cooler was talking about the shit I said on the AV after show, but later, you know what I mean? But now it's all good, man. I'm spreading the word like a pair of cheeks.
There's only certain people like that, dude. But for the most part, a lot of everybody, that I worked with pretty much knows. But it's just certain older people or that where you're kind of like, oh no, you know me one way at work, and then you're talking about. All I'm giving a fuck is about my liquor and my trigger. You're like, whoa,
right. Wait, I didn't know Mr. Fitz talked like that. I didn't know he indulged.
What does it mean when he's off his OE? When he's off his OE,
Right. What does that mean? Is he off that OE now? Does he have any triggers at work?
That's so stupid. It's so funny though, because it's true,
It's true.
You can picture it going through somebody's head,
For sure.
Oh man, but I think we are gonna wrap it up, Doug, and then fucking you know what? I forgot about the major announcement for episode number 73, dog. I said there was gonna be a major announcement.
I'm waiting. I've been waiting all show. I thought you were never gonna tell us, bro.
We have a major announcement about episode number 73. This is gonna be the last show that I'm gonna do.
What?
With my braces.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, I get them off Wednesday. It's gonna be dope, dog. By episode number 74, I'm gonna look like a real grown up, and we're gonna fucking, Doug. By then, we're gonna have to take some publicity.
I love turtles
photos and shit, dog. We're gonna have to,
hell yeah. We're gonna have to goon it up. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get ready. We have to take some, because we got to do something, man. We got to get something cracking. Spread the word. Spread the word.
So all I gotta do is drop 150 pounds, and then fucking we're doing this shit, dog.
And for all the listeners out there, I had a dream, and I think Jesus came to me and said that for every 5 people you tell about our show, He will bless you. So just keep that thought in mind.
You had the same dream. You had the same dream that
I did.
had last night?
I did. I do, and I want everyone to be blessed. So please go tell 5 people so you can have your blessing.
You know what Covino and Rich say is that if they agree upon something, that it's fact, right? Well, I think if Cucuy and I are having the same dream, then it's got to be true.
Got to be true. Right. So if you want to be blessed, just go tell 5 people about our show. Tell another 5 about the CNR show, Covino and Rich on Patreon, and you'll be double blessed.
This is gonna be easily the longest show we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
all right.
We're at about 2 hours. So fucking nuts. I was planning to do an hour, and
we're making up for last week, bro, because I know we want to apologize. We know we're a little choppy. So please, all of our devoted listeners, please look past it. We're doing the best we can. We appreciate you, and we gave you extra content this week.
Next week, I'll have my microphones and shit. I have my microphone right here. I just can't fucking plug it in. So Cucuy sounds dope this week. I sound like shit, but next week we're both gonna be fucking dope ass audio. It's gonna be nice and appealing for your ears. So everybody, make sure you tell your friends.
If Spot doesn't quit doing Sunday yoga and change it to cooking or something, I'm gonna have a junk cam. I'll play it.
For sure, man.
Come on, Spot. Quit with the Zelda and the yoga, bro. Give us some behind the scenes. Show us some of your cooking skills.
Yeah, I dig the. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest. I say we're gonna wrap it up, but I got a couple more things. I didn't mind Spot's Zelda shit because I don't give a fuck about Zelda, but just sitting there in him bullshitting, it kind of reminded me of when you were a kid and you were playing that kind of shit, with your cousins or your brothers or friends or whatever. and you're right there bullshitting. You know, that's kind of how it was. Spot was just bullshitting with us as he was playing, so it kind of took me back. It was a throwback that I didn't mind.
Yeah. No, I watched it. It was cool. I'm just talking shit being a dick, but I like the Egg Mountain. Spot got some cooking skills, and if he's gonna feed my brain with anything, I don't necessarily want it to be Zelda. Show me how to cook some cool shit, because I like to cook. So I'm putting in my request, Spotty. I'm just talking shit being a dick. Keep doing what you're doing. No one's complaining about the extra content, because we're just glad you're giving it. But sneak some cooking shows in there. Go to Maria Menounos' house and give us a fucking inside tour or something,
dope.
bro.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Let us have the inside cupcake challenge.
I know. I would dig that. You know what? I need Spot to hit her up, and we could have Maria Menounos and Spot Cupcake Challenge, you know, behind the velvet rope. That would be dope.
Behind the velvet cakes, bro.
Definitely.
I'm just saying. For real.
Well, episode number 73, your boys El Cucuy, DZF, baby, better known as D or Daniel J. Fitz, Daniel Javier Fitz, if you listen to the Covino and Rich show, which I'm sure you do. So until episode number 74, El Cucuy, you have any parting words before we bounce?
I'll give a couple of my little nicknames out. Govzilla, Govs, a.k.a. Gavachino. A lot of people know me as Gava. El Cucuy. I got many different names. If you're truly from the neighborhood.
Is it 559?
Yeah. Yep, 559. But truly, tell me, real quick, tell me if I'm wrong. If you're from the neighborhood, bro, tell me you don't have 4 or 5 different nicknames.
Yeah, I got Fat Boy, Fat, anything with fat in it.
Shit. I even got a belt, bro, for my lady. She even got me a belt that says El Martillo on it, bro. So also known as the Hammer for you gringos out there. Maybe.
What was it?
El Martillo.
Martillo?
Yep, pica. Yeah, the hammer, bro.
Hey, you taught me something, dog. So
maybe I'll show it off on the next episode.
I hope you don't show off the hammer on the next show.
No, the belt, bro. The belt, not the hammer.
Oh, the belt.
Yeah, no,
right,
the belt. Yeah. Hey, but maybe if they buy enough Twitch tokens, I will.
We'll have an OnlyFans exclusive. So if you guys are interested in the hammer, just make sure you check out OnlyFans.com/the.
Hey, bro, I'm not a Valentine like Greg the Hammer. I'm just Cucuy the Hammer.
Cucuy the Hammer. Oh yeah, if somebody called me by your name as a kid, it was disrespectful.
Yes, please do not. I don't. You know what, bro? I'll be honest to God. Out of all my friends that I grew up with, and I still hang out with a lot of them, bro. A lot of friends from middle school and even elementary school, man. We've been going on some long ass friendships. Not one of them called me by my real first name.
Yeah,
none of them.
You don't know
none
the
of them.
Real first name. It's been mentioned before in a random show here or there. So go back and listen to all of the shows and see if you can find it. That's our challenge.
Yeah, matter of fact, if you can find it, I'll give you a subscription. That's another giveaway we'll do.
All right, cool. And but you can't just tell us the name. You got to tell us where it was and what episode, so we can go back and verify.
And if you want bonus, you're gonna have to show me my GER certificate.
Oh man, AfterShowBL number 73, El Cucuy, your boy D. We're heading out. So baseline Trey, come on, take us out, homie.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.